All right, let's talk about something we've all dealt with, that infuriating "this site can't be reached" error. Today, we're going to make that a thing of the past by diving deep into the world of DNS troubleshooting. You know the feeling, right? You type in a web address, you hit enter, and crickets. Just a blank page staring back at you with a whole lot of frustration. Well, more often than not, the hidden culprit is this thing called DNS. So today, let's put on our detective hats and crack this case. And here's the best part. You don't need any fancy, expensive software to solve this mystery. Nope. All the clues we need are waiting for us inside a tool that's already on your computer, the good old Windows command prompt. So, let's open up that detective kit. I know, the command prompt looks a little old school, right? But trust me, it is our direct line for investigating how your computer actually finds its way around the internet. With just a few simple commands, you're going to see how to follow that data trail and pinpoint exactly where things are going wrong. Okay, so here's something you might not know. Before your computer even thinks about asking the big, wide internet for directions, it does something really smart. It checks its own nodes first, the local records, right there on your machine.
And understanding this order of operations is, well, it's absolutely crucial. Why? Because a lot of the time, the problem isn't out there somewhere on the internet. It could be right here on your own computer, hiding in its memory or config files.
So our very first tool, our magnifying glass if you will, is ipconfig/display-DNS. Think of this like we're dusting for fingerprints at a crime scene. This command lets us peek right into your computer's short-term memory, its local DNS cache, and see every single web address it's looked up recently. When you run that command, you're going to see a big list of sites your computer has recently found an address for. But I want you to look closer. There's a really important piece of evidence hiding in there. It's called the time to live, or TTL for short. So what the heck is TTL? Well, it's basically an expiration date. That number tells your computer exactly how long it should trust that old, saved information before it says, maybe I should go get a fresh update.
Okay, but what happens if you suspect your computer's local memory is, well, wrong? Like, what if a website moved but your PC is still clinging to the old address? That's where our next tool comes in. ipconfig/flushdns is like a memory wipe. It tells your computer to just forget everything it thinks it knows and start fresh.
And when you see this little confirmation message pop up, that's the good stuff. It means it worked. All those old, locally stored records are gone. Now the next time you make a request, your computer has no choice but to go out and find brand new, up-to-date information.
All right, so we've cleared the local crime scene. We've wiped away the old fingerprints. Now it's time to interrogate our main witness, the DNS server itself. And for that, we're bringing out the big guns, our main interrogation tool, nslookup.
The easiest way to think about nslookup is like a universal translator. You give it a name you understand, like a website, and it gives you back the number, the IP address that computers understand. It's basically us asking the DNS server directly, hey, where do I find this thing?
And here's where it gets really cool. A real pro detective move. You can get a second opinion. The first command, that's you asking your usual DNS server. But what if you think that server might be wrong, or even lying to you? Well, you can use the second command to go ask a totally different public server, like Google's 8.8.8.8, and see if they tell you the same story.
Now, as you start using this, you're going to see this phrase pop up a lot, non-authoritative answer. So what does that even mean? It's just the server's way of saying, look, here's the answer I've got, but I heard it from a friend of a friend. It's not the official story.
And sometimes a rumor just isn't good enough, right? When you're really troubleshooting, you have to cut through the noise, bypass the gossip, and go straight to the source to get the real, official, authoritative truth.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. A non-authoritative answer? That's just hearsay. It's probably true, but who knows? An authoritative answer? That's getting the story straight from the horse's mouth. It's a direct statement of fact from the domain's own name server. No question about it.
So how do we get that official story? It's a simple two-step process. First, we've got to find out who's actually in charge of the records. We use nslookup, but with a little addition, -type equals ns. This is us asking, hey, who are the official name servers responsible for this domain? Okay, once we have the names of those official servers, it's on to step 2. We run nslookup again, but this time we tell it exactly who to ask. We point it at one of those servers we just discovered, making sure we get the answer straight from the source. And check it out. When you do this, look at what's missing from the response. That little non-authoritative answer phrase, it's gone. That's how you know. That's your proof that you've got the official, undisputed record.
All right, we've gathered our tools, we've learned the techniques, now it's time to put it all together. Let's walk through a real-world case and see how these tools work in a logical sequence to track down and pinpoint a DNS problem. So here it is, the DNS detectives method. Step 1. Always flush your local cache first. Get rid of any bad data on your own machine. Step 2. Run a simple nslookup to check your normal DNS server. If that fails, now you've got a clue. So, Step 3. Get that second opinion from a public server like 8.8.8.8. If that one works, bingo, you've just proved the problem is with your default DNS server. And if all else fails, Step 4. Go straight to the authoritative source to find the real answer. See? It's a simple flow that lets you just methodically eliminate suspects until you find the culprit.
And just like that, you've got the whole toolkit. You're now equipped to go from being that frustrated person staring at a blank screen to a confident DNS detective who knows exactly how to uncover the clues and solve the case.